Alright, here we go. How you doing, sir? Alright, so the YouTube link for this would be I'm doing well. I'm doing well. I have no idea. I have no idea what the link is. So we're gonna wait for another 2 to 3 minutes. I'm gonna see if we can get a few more people to join, so we don't miss it, and we will definitely get started. Alright, and we're just gonna talk a little bit about, you know, what's going on with these pump and dumps. A lot of people, they're just promoting stocks online, and it's causing a lot of confusion and headache for a lot of people. And we just want to talk about that for just maybe 15 to 20 minutes, and see, you know, how one can change that. I mean, or how one can avoid that, so to say. And that's pretty much it. There we go. There's a link, and we're gonna put it up on. And that's pretty much it. So we got about, what, 6 people so far. Once we get to maybe about 10, we'll get started. This is only the second live video that we have, and I don't expect much of a broadcast, much, you know, attendance, so to say, until, you know, we do maybe our 30th or 40th video, and that's pretty much it. The stream looks pretty good, looks strong. You know what, everyone else can watch this once we have completed it. Okay, so what we're going to do here is we're going to talk about stocks that are causing a lot of problems for a lot of people over the past, you know, few days or so. ACVH, I don't know if we have, oh, we do have it here, beautiful. I think they just got it We didn't have this before, and we basically have it now. So we're going to start off with just what we have in front of us, and I'm not preparing for any of these videos. I'm just, oh, so it's not going to let us go that far back here. I'm just doing whatever we have in front of us, because I want people to see that there's no agenda. It's just open conversation that we're having, and basically that's what we have here. So I'm going to open up another one here, AC HB. Let's see if we can get something on this one as well. And it doesn't look like we might have. So all the talk we have here so far is mostly just people that are holding bags that are basically stuck in the stock. It was the 26th. So these are just the 2 or 3 examples that I have, and that's basically where we are now. So yes, we should be trading stocks that have mostly news, and we shouldn't be trading stocks that don't have any news, and pretty much that's what gets us into some sort of trouble at times. We're gonna start it off right about here. Okay, there we go. So we're gonna come back over here, and we're gonna look at October the 25th. We can see the volume in these stocks, right? It's pretty crazy. We got 26K the day before. We got 16.81. We got about 27K. The volume is right up here if you guys are a little confused. That's where we're looking at. The average volume, I would say, for that stock before that day was around maybe 40 to 50K, right? So yes, the stock did get news. The stock did shoot up. It went straight from 210-ish up to about, I think, $3 right about here within about 15 to 20 minutes, right? And I understand that it's a really nice move and you don't want to miss it, but the reality is that if we get into stocks that have had moves before, we don't have this sort of an issue, right? So we're going to come back over here. I'll go back to FinViz, and let's see what stocks had moves before. Let me get into settings here, and we can look up daily charts. Okay, and we'll look at stocks that have had moves the day before, which are basically continuation patterns, and we can see that they're not really impacted by the news or whatever that came out the day. Now, the reason we're trying to discuss the difference, let me get into under $7, I would say, and under 200 million, and then we'll say the average volume. So the really nice way to stay out of these pump and dumps is to look at the average volume, because the average volume tells us that, hey, you know what, even if you get stuck in the stock today, there's a chance that you might be able to get out of the stock tomorrow. And if we should be trading stocks where we have an opportunity to get out the very next day, and or even the day after, whatever the case might be. So we'll take a look at just one quick example. The stock goes from $1.39 up to $1.54 in one day. So we're like, oh my God, the stock is moving up. Let's just say we get into this stock on this day here. Let's just say at $1.49 or $1.45, whatever the case might be. The next day we have an opportunity to get out of that mess, so to say. And the reason being is, you can see there's a ton of volume in the stock the day before and the day before that. Over the past almost month or so, there's been continuous volume getting into that stock. Now the next day we get the same thing. So let's say we missed it here, we want to get in here. The same thing, we have volume the day before. So there are people that are still holding the stock that aren't just going to sell the stock all at once, and you're not going to be the last one left holding that stock, right? So there's that. And then we got the following day. Let's just say this was the day where you were like, wow, 167, it's at 192, this is amazing, and you get in at 185. Let's just say the stock doesn't just crash on you. and then the next day here, really big move. Even then, you're still okay because you can see what happened. Now, I didn't just come up with this stock. I didn't prepare this. I just came up with it right now, right in front of you, and we're getting to see it together. And even if that happens to you, you still have you wait another 4 days, well, even just 2 days, and you still have an opportunity to sell at a higher price. And then it happens again. You get a chance to sell at a higher price. At the end of the day, you're not stuck in a stock that's just going to go back down to 141, 143. Look at what happens here. The stock starts to move from 110, and now the stock drops to 150. If you're going to get into a stock that's moving and is being alerted by people on StockTwits and is being, pretty much pounded into your head, get in, get in, get in. Look at this. Look at this activity that we have here. There's a watch list. They're announcing some news here, up on news, and like all of this crazy stuff. Pump, pump, pump. Like crazy. Now we didn't trade this stock because it moved up so fast. We didn't get a chance to really get in. I wouldn't let my members get into this one. I wouldn't get in myself the way it moved because I don't know what's going to happen at the end of it all. It's probably going to come crashing down on me and I'm going to be stuck holding the stock. All right, so alerted in chat room. No, sorry, alerted, boom. And where did it read chat room? Maybe I just saw boom and I thought that was chat room. But either way, there you go. The stock is gone. And people are talking about hitting $4. So right away when you see $4, you're like, wow, the stock is going to hit $4. I'm going to jump in at 942. At 942, I believe it was sitting at about maybe 260 or 270 around there, maybe even $3. We did hit $4, but imagine the person that bought at 350 hoping to hit $4 as a beginner trader that's never traded before. They're thinking, hey, the stock is going to hit $4. It goes up to 383 and that person doesn't sell because they're thinking $4. Now that person's stuck. Even the person that was looking at 385, that person's stuck. Right? Everybody's stuck. Even if you got in at 370 to 383, you're not selling. You're looking for more. Right? The stock is already up almost 100% for the day. Right? You're looking for more. And this is where we get into trouble, and this is what I've been trying to stay away from the whole week last week, and I think I was able to perfect it today. PSDV, no, sorry, not PSDV. What was this one here? This stock right here was an email pump. It was pumped by an email company. If you look it up, you can find it. I will not tell you the company because I will not promote that company. But it was basically pumped. As you can see, there's no news, and I got an email at 9:33 saying, hey, I think this stock is going to run up 100% today. I could have gotten in, but I'm not supporting these causes, right? And the reality is it might not have worked because that same company sends 10 emails a month and only one or two of their stocks actually end up moving. Now, they didn't move this whole stock. They didn't move the stock from the bottom to the top. They pushed it up a little bit. The market caught on, and the stock started to move higher. And that's basically what happened. And that was the only stock that moved today. And you can see that right in front of you. Right? There are some others. They're a little bit bigger. $13, 24, 109. This one started moving. I believe started moving a little bit later than than that one there. And I think it is also a 5-cent tick stock. So the spread on this stock is 5 cents. Not a lot of people would trade it. Let's see here, 35 and 40. Yep. So it gapped up and it jumped from 320 to about 370. So there's not much of a move, but including the gap up, it was 25%. So some people were probably extremely happy with that one. And then the rest, you can see they're a lot bigger. That was the only one that really moved. This one was, I think, moved a lot higher at the end of the day. So these are your chat room pumps. Unless there's news, even when there's news, sometimes a market maker won't trade that stock. So there's no news on this either. So this was also pumped by some chat room. expect this thing to drop, a little bit tomorrow, maybe come down to about 240, 235-ish, and you can see what happens there. So this is a really good way to stay out of these. One can argue that there was volume yesterday, and I would say yes, that's okay. Maybe it's okay to get into this one here, but even if you look at the volume today, 660K with zero news, and unless there's news that I don't see here, but zero news, and we're looking at almost, what is it, 4 times the average daily volume. So the only reason this thing could be moving is I do see some sort of a pattern here, so I'm okay with this one. This is not that bad. Those stocks that are going sideways with very little volume and then they go boom, those are the stocks you got to stay away from. So even this one, I don't like the fact that it moved up all at once. It looks like one person bought 30,000 shares of this, and the stock went crazy, and then the market caught on, and the stock started moving. So it's a 50-50 play. It could move higher tomorrow, and it might not. So it really depends, and we'll find out tomorrow. It's not the end of the world there. So that's all I can say for today. Look for stocks that have had volume. This was that one time where you could regret getting into a stock, that had volume previous days. But even if you compare the volume down here, right, to the volume down here, you'll notice that it was mostly kind of just like a pump, just to get people into the stock so they can, somewhat get out or whatever they wanted to do. Right, so that was just one example. Let's take a look at a few more. And again, I just looked up these ones today. The criteria that I put in does change every day, so that way that's transparency for you to see that I didn't just make it up. The way to tell that is to look at the relative volume. That means that today the stock traded at 1.1, at least 1.5 times the average daily volume that it normally trades at. So every day that's different. Some stock won't do that. Now you look at stocks like this one right here, AMPE. Right, the stock is at the very top. It wants to come down, but people that are stuck in this stock, or they think the stock can move higher, keep on trying to push the stock higher and higher and higher. And as you can see, it's having an extremely difficult time getting above that 115 or 114 area. Oops, bad internet connection, you can say. Let's see what happens here. It's amazing. You live in Toronto, you're with one of the biggest internet providers, and you're having a difficult time. Either way, okay, so let's move on. So another one that's gonna be a pump really soon, from what I can see, is gonna be this one right here. I don't know if this is gonna work for us or not. ANY. Nope. Oh, there you go. So I think it's just a browser there. So another one that's going to be a big problem for us, is this one. Oh, actually 685K. That's not bad. So when this one moves, it's not going to move because it's just a pump, right? Over here, the volume was very little, right? And therefore, there was a pump we got on that day there, and it came right back down. Right now, you can see there's some accumulation that's going on in this area. Green, 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 and the volume is getting higher and higher. The stock is probably going to make some sort of a move. So that's pretty cool. Man, what do I do now? I got to go back into the screener. So yeah, that's basically what we need to look for. We need to look for stocks that that haven't really had much volume, and all of a sudden, people are posting, oh, news is out, jump in. If you want to gamble, you're more than welcome to. There's nothing wrong with that. If you're a gambler, go for it. But if you're not a gambler, this is not for people that have been trading for years and years and years. This is for somebody that just started trading, and every day they see a stock that's going up huge, and it comes right back down, and now they're stuck in the stock. AVIR, another example, no news at all. I mean, no volume at all. And then all of a sudden we get some serious volume, and the stock's pumped up, and it comes right back down. I actually got into the stock. I made a big mistake. The reason I got into this stock is because I had been watching this stock for almost a week, and when it finally moved, I thought this was a day that the stock was probably going to run up, probably a good 30 to 40, maybe even 50%. And I was expecting some sort of a move up to maybe like $1.15 or $1.20. My target to sell, believe it or not, was $1.14, and it just fell short. But I did stop out. I didn't lose a lot of money. I didn't hold all the way through. Now, if you are going to get into stocks that are moving higher just because of news and they're moving really fast and volatile, you have to use a stop loss. If you don't know what a stop loss is, you should definitely 100% look up what a stop loss is on Google. PFNX here. Let's take a look at this one. Naran is asking me to take a look at it. Now you can see the volume is increasing on a daily basis. The average volume here, above average volume here, and 3.5 times the average volume today. So this is a stock, if you see news tomorrow and this stock is running, this is a stock where you can potentially get into and not get into some serious trouble, because all of these people, they're not looking to, all of the people that have been buying in this area from here all the way through here, they're not looking to sell for a 5 or 10% gain. They might want to continue to move the stock for a few days rather than just pump it up on one day and run like they did on ACHV. Now, the last stock we're going to do in the next 5 minutes is going to be ONS from today. For people that are stuck in that one, how to deal with it and how to go from there. And we'll see what happens with that. So this stock right here, again, this is just nasty. Don't let people manipulate you. Don't let people, help guide you into doing something that makes no sense at all. So we're looking at this stock here. Let's take a look. Okay, so amazing from watch list. So not really a pump. All out, not really a pump. Small long position, not really a pump. Another run, kind of trying to pump to see. And the people that start posting bullish or bearish, they actually care enough to go and click on that, right? This person's like, this just another pump and dump. Thought the news is good. So that means the stock had already started to drop at this level here. So now look at this person here. In 1 minute, in 3 minutes, 3 different posts. Another post here, okay? Another post here. Another post here, right? So that kind of tells you what the situation is. Definitely trying to move the stock in their direction, and just look for people that keep posting the same thing over and over again. The reality is they're just very, very desperate. Look at this. Look at how many posts this person has, right? And they probably just made their account yesterday, October 16th, so like 2 weeks ago, right? So these are the things that we got to be aware of. You can't let people, if you trust somebody and you trust their source and you believe that they're not trying to, play some funny games, it's a different story. But when somebody keeps on trying, you got to be very, very careful, right? So then we're going to go over to ONS here, okay? And what do we have on ONS? Let's go to the beginning of the day. It should be a very interesting. Oh, I think I have it here already. So, what do we have here? High of day at 145. Okay, so let's take a look at this one here. ONS. This should be very, very interesting. So 145 is right over here. So this person is definitely not pumping. Okay. Where did this go? This person is really not trying to pump. A great news, closing the deal, wow, breakout, wow, wow, and then people keep on pushing. So again, look at the people that are posting over and over and over again. There was somebody here with an entry at 133. So exit was 160, right? So the stock goes up to 169, 170. So I don't see many posts from that person, so I'm not really worried about that. Well, there's another one there, And yeah, guys, so you see it, right? The same people over and over again. Damn, ouch, blah, 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 blah. And I said, thank God we missed the pump and dump. So that was after the drop, obviously, and that was it. That was it. So Henry is another person that you can really follow that will actually help you stay out of those pump and dumps, and they'll help you a lot. And that's basically where we go. So now we're gonna go and look at people um, only going up from here. So 1218, okay. So 1218 is right about here. Okay, so only going up from here is the post from this person, right? So they gotta move near the end of the day, but I mean, why would somebody post that when there's zero volume coming into the stock at that level at that time right there? Now, yes, there was crazy, amazing volume. The question here is, if the volume was so great, why didn't the stock gap up 50 or 60 or 70%? Why did the stock not move pre-market? That's the question. So another way to save yourself, the stock closed yesterday at 134 and it opened today at 133. Another way to save yourself from these pump and dumps is look at it and say, hey, listen, why did the stock not open much higher? Because the only people that would really get into a stock that has really good news are market makers, people that actually have a lot of money that actually care to get into the stock and make a profit. If they're not getting in, then why the hell is anyone else getting in? The stock was not going to move today if the stock was not pumped. And that's the reality. And I feel sorry for the people that got into it at $1.69, $1.65, $1.60. It sucks because most people that are on StockTwits don't have somebody guiding them to say, hey, listen, buy it here, put a stop loss here, and sell it if it goes to this level here, right? Most people don't have that. So, I mean, there are some people that are posting those targets, but they're posting those targets because they're the ones that are actually moving the stock in the first place. So it doesn't really help the cause when people are getting in at $1.60 and $1.65 and they're just stuck in that stock. So really help yourself. Don't get into these stocks. Look for all the criteria that I've set up. This was a post by Henry himself, and I really liked it. He said a lot of interesting things where he said, the volume is going higher here, and the volume here is fading away. The volume is going little down here and going back up again. That's how you can see that the stock is actually real, and it's a real move here. But over here, we can see the volume is pretty much done. So these are the things that you got to look out for. It's not really difficult, and hopefully that can help you in the future, because these things, this is how people lose their accounts. This is how people end up with $0. Now, somebody stuck in this stock, there's a chance that they might recover. There's the support for the stock is at $1.20. There's a chance that the stock might recover one day, on some real actual news that matters. And but if it doesn't, then you're basically gonna see the stock coming back down to about $1, maybe 80 cents at some point. Hopefully, there's one more move before it starts to come down, and you have an opportunity to get out. It does look like there's a chance, and we'll see what happens. It should be very interesting. So we've done about 30 minutes of whatever I really wanted to say today. If there are any questions, we can go over those right now. And I'm going to try to make this a regular thing where we talk about different topics, things that really matter. And hopefully you guys were able to learn something today. Um, and really, that's pretty much it. Or if there's no questions, we can just call it a night, I guess. FR, no, PFNX. Let's analyze it a little bit more. Above 340, maybe there's a chance, but again, a very little volume. Most of the volume came in a few candlesticks, and that's pretty much it. Alright guys, so I think we're good here. If you have any questions, you can always leave some comments underneath, and I'll definitely reply to those comments. But for now, I think we're gonna call it a night. Good night, everyone.